Every age tells its story through power and through the rare minds that dare to understand it. Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. Tonight, we enter laws 34 through 36. If the last three laws were about influence, how power shapes choices, feeds fantasies, and discovers hidden desires, then these laws move inward toward something even more fundamental. Not influence, but judgment. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. The world often accepts the value we place upon ourselves. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Power belongs not only to those who act, but to those who know when to act. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Not every enemy deserves a battle. Not every insult deserves a response. 3 laws. 1 architecture. Know your value. Choose your moment. Guard your attention. Tonight, we listen to 2 voices, not to decide who is right, but to see more clearly what truly is.
There is a strange moment in every rise to power, not the beginning, not the victory, the moment before either becomes possible, the moment when a person decides what they are worth. Most people never notice this decision being made, and yet it shapes everything that follows.
Like a crown placed on the head in an empty room, no witnesses, no ceremony, no applause, yet somehow the world notices later.
Because the world often accepts the value we place upon ourselves, not immediately, not completely, but eventually. Christopher Columbus understood this. He was not born a prince. He was not descended from kings. He possessed no great fortune and commanded no army. Yet, when he approached rulers, he negotiated as though destiny already belonged to him. He demanded titles, privileges, inherited rights for his descendants. The requests seemed absurd, yet no one laughed.
Because doubt is contagious, but certainty is contagious too.
Exactly. Most people ask permission from life. Columbus behaved as though permission had already been granted. Louis Philippe attempted the opposite. He wanted to be loved, to appear ordinary, to walk among the people without distance or ceremony. At first, they admired it. Soon, they stopped respecting it. He dismantled the symbols of authority and discovered that symbols exist for a reason. People admired his modesty for a while, but admiration and respect are not the same thing. One is given freely, the other is granted reluctantly. Louis Philippe gained the first and slowly lost the second. People often say they want equality, yet many secretly look for something higher than themselves.
A mountain does not inspire because it kneels.
No, it inspires because it stands. That is the danger of misunderstanding humility. Humility and self-diminishment are not the same thing.
Nor are dignity and arrogance.
Precisely. The arrogant man constantly reminds you of his importance. The regal man never needs to.
A mountain may stand proudly for centuries, yet even mountains wait for seasons.
And that is why timing governs power. Joseph Fouché understood this better than almost anyone in history. Kings fell, revolutionaries rose, revolutionaries died, empires appeared and disappeared. Yet somehow Fouché survived them all, because he understood a simple truth. Most people see events, a few see momentum.
And momentum is invisible until it is obvious.
Exactly. When Robespierre hunted him, Fouché did not rush forward. He waited. Every day he survived increased the number of enemies Robespierre created for himself. Time fought on Fouché's behalf.
Most people think patience means doing nothing.
which is why they misunderstand it. Patience is rarely passive. Patience is preparation disguised as stillness. The Roman commander Sertorius taught the same lesson differently. His soldiers wanted immediate victory, immediate glory, immediate results. He showed them two horses, one powerful, one weak. The strong man tried to tear out the horse's tail in a single motion. He failed. The weaker man removed the hairs one at a time and succeeded.
A strange thing about time, it often defeats strength without ever confronting it.
Yes, because force accumulates, so does pressure, so does opportunity. The wise wait for accumulation, the foolish demand immediacy.
And yet waiting contains its own danger.
It does. Some people become addicted to preparation. They mistake delay for wisdom. The moment arrives, and they continue waiting.
Like archers who spend so long aiming, they never release the arrow.
Exactly. Timing requires two skills, knowing when not to move, and knowing when movement can no longer be postponed.
And yet there is another trap. Not moving too soon, not moving too late, but moving at all when nothing important is at stake.
Pancho Villa crossed the border into New Mexico. The attack was real. The deaths were real. But the response transformed a nuisance into a legend. The United States sent an army, thousands of soldiers, months of pursuit, immense expense. And the longer the hunt continued, the larger Villa became.
The giant taught the world to notice the insect.
Exactly. Attention is a form of power. Every enemy you acknowledge receives some of it. Every irritation you obsess over receives some of it. Every insult you answer receives some of it.
Then revenge sometimes creates the very thing it wishes to destroy.
More often than people realize. Henry VIII understood the opposite principle. Most rulers would have spent years arguing, defending, negotiating, reacting. Henry gradually did something more unsettling. He behaved as though the argument had already ended. He withdrew recognition. He stopped treating resistance as decisive. And once he did, others slowly began doing the same.
Disdain is a peculiar weapon. It wounds by absence.
Yes, most people imagine power is demonstrated through action. Sometimes it is demonstrated through indifference. Perhaps they are all asking the same thing.
Maybe it's what deserves your attention.
Explain.
A king decides his own value. A strategist decides his own moment. A powerful person decides what is too small to matter. Most people surrender all three decisions to the world. They let others determine their worth, their timing, their peace.
And what is power then?
Perhaps power begins the moment you stop asking the world what deserves your attention.
You've heard both sides. What remains is not said.